My female 30, husband, male 33. So the husband is 33, the wife is 30.
Got you.
30 and 33. Man is 33, woman is 30. Okay,
Got you.
we got that? You good on that?
Why you
You good on that? You
He
okay
was
on,
talking to the
are you
audience.
okay with that?
All right.
Okay,
I got you.
this is long and ridiculous. Sorry.
Okay.
My husband, Luke, had a sister, Laura, and we were all really close with each other and saw each other about 2-3 times a month, along with their parents. Almost 6 months ago, Laura fell down the stairs at their family home and died. It was a freak accident. There was a window on the half landing. There's a window on the half landing and she hit her head on it. I was the last person to see her. I was there for less than 10 minutes and she was in her pajamas making coffee. I didn't even stay for a drink. And I struggle with how such a brief and meaningless interaction could have been her last. She deserved so much more. My husband and I have only been married for a year, but we've been together for 4 and have known each other for 20 plus. When Laura's parents found out, they called my husband straight away and we rushed over. We faced the whole thing as a family. In the days after, Luke started quizzing me. Exactly what we talked about was what she was wearing, where she was standing, etc. It progressed to me saying I was providing conflicting information, brackets, on tiny details he was deliberately misunderstanding, and accusing me of withholding information because I couldn't tell him things like what pajamas she was wearing. This escalated quickly, but lasted for less than a week, as I lost my cool and I made it clear that I was done answering his questions. He didn't bring it up again, and I wrote it off as a quick grief gesture. His behavior was generally that of a normal grieving person. Last Friday, he outright accused me of murdering her in front of her parents, out of the blue. We were all stunned. There was an inquest which recently concluded. Inquest, that's an interesting word, love that. There was an inquest which recently concluded, and there was never any doubt that the verdict would be an accidental death. So I guess they're finding out that the death is not conclusively accidental after the fact.
Okay.
Is what they're saying. He said it was completely obvious and he couldn't believe that no one else could see it. He claims I went through his phone and found messages with Laura. I have no idea what messages he's talking about, and I never looked at his phone. And that I went over to confront her and things got out of hand and I pushed her down the stairs. By the end, he was shouting and going about how he's going to get the police involved and get the inquest overturned and how I wasn't going to get away with it. Let me be clear. Laura and I had a great relationship. We all did. I have no idea where this is coming from other than these messages that I have not seen. And even then, I don't think there's anything that I could ever see on someone's phone that would drive me to murder. It's just ridiculous. He's been with his parents ever since this happened, and we do not talk as much. I've had some contact with his mom, but she's not being very communicative. Last thing I heard, she didn't know what messages he was referring to either. I'm still completely stunned, and I have no idea how to proceed. I made a commitment to be there for him always, and I understand that grief can manifest in strange ways, but part of me feels like my love for him died the second he called me a murderer, and I don't know how we could possibly work through this. I also really don't want to be thought of in this way, and I have no idea if he has said anything to any people we know. Obviously, I don't know if that's the case. A brain tumor or psychotic break has crossed my mind, and I suggested it to his mother, and she said she'll talk to him. Other than the questions before, he hasn't said anything odd. Obviously, he's been grieving, but he seemed sane and sensible other than this. I feel like I'm going mad. Does anyone have any advice at all?
Damn.
Sheesh.
First and foremost, that relationship is over.
Think so?
It's 100% over. There's no recovery.
That's true.
There's no way. Even if, like, in a dream world, he, got away from that idea that she's the murderer, what's next? Like, how can I trust you when you thought that I did what I did? You thought I was capable of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Fuck, man. I think to be honest with you, she kind of was leading towards where I was going with. I thought like psychotic break, mental breakdown.
Yeah.
This could be the cause of the grief itself. A very sudden, shocking death in the family of a loved one. I was thinking my brain was going towards there, but when she said my love for him died the second he made that comment, I really understood that comment. You know, I really understood that statement. Like you're saying, how can you come back from that?
You can't.
You know, like you thought of me as the worst human being possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like the worst human being possible. and now I have to love you.
You can't just turn a leaf and be
Yeah.
like, ah, you know, it
And I
was,
don't
I
even
was,
think any therapy or any like counseling can help that, because it's always going to be the elephant in the room. No
mm-hmm,
matter how good times come ahead, it's always going to be in the back of that person's mind. Yo, I got considered as a murderer
facts.
by my loved one.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I don't think there's any coming back from that
Even,
either.
even one more thing. He believes, based off of a text message that he was sending his sister back and forth,
That she
that
was,
that she saw something, right?
yeah.
But that just proves that he was guilty of something, you know, because he
What
was
do you mean
like,
though? What do you mean?
I think the sister and the brother
Hmm.
were saying stuff behind this woman's back that would enrage her, and that's his thought process, where it would
Oh, okay.
enrage her into going to her sister's home
And confronting her?
and confronting her, and if things didn't go that south, he pushed them down the stairs, you know. So he's guilty of something, and that's why he assumes that because he saw that, he went over there and took action. You know what I mean? So I first and foremost, curiosity gets the best of me. I would want to know what was said, you know?
There is a
Because
small little edit. You want me to read it?
yeah, I would love to hear.
It says, "It has come to my attention that I accidentally used Laura's real name." Okay, never mind. This is
Oh, she messed up.
can I kindly ask who commented, who is Laura?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess she's just trying to walk back the fact that she actually used her real name.
Hmm.
Yeah, to be honest though, like with all this context here that we have, get a lawyer.
Yeah, you have to protect
Get a
yourself.
lawyer. You know, like at this point your safety's on the line, you know, like
Hmm.
he could have a vendetta against you, you know, like there could be so many possibilities where your safety is in question. I think she needs to get a lawyer ASAP. Um and defend herself. If worst case scenario, they tried to pursue her as a criminal,
Hmm.
fuck yeah, get a lawyer immediately. Lawyer up. And it's sad too, man, because like imagine, bro. Imagine like the confusion that this person's feeling.
Fuck
You
yeah.
know, it's like first they're dealing with the grief themselves.
Hmm.
Their sister-in-law or yeah, their sister-in-law just died. They're dealing with that. They're trying to, I would assume they're going to be very supportive of their husband in helping him cope with the grief too.
Hmm.
But now is looking at a
You're the
completely,
reason.
yeah, it's a completely different set of feelings here now. There's anger,
Hmm.
you know, there's resentment, animosity, confusion. Man, that's something that no person should have to
There's
deal
no
with.
coming back from
There's
that.
no
They're
coming.
over,
Yeah,
and to the point, she needs to protect herself by, I think, stop communicating with that family
yeah.
and lawyer up in order to protect yourself. You know?
Do
What
you
do you
think?
think, Mukhtar?
Go ahead, go ahead.
I still don't know. A lot of people deal with grief in difficult manner.
Hmm.
I haven't seen anybody to that extent, but I don't know at the same time how to deal with people that are grieving and in a matter of the strange situations and strange mindset they may be in. He definitely had a mental breakdown and started putting clues together of what was he's guilty of. I
Yeah.
agree, and that he's taking steps of what did I do that may have caused this, and oh, she may have seen something that may have went. He's trying to build together a case, and he needs to go take some time with his family. I agree that she should step back. I don't see them taking a longer legal action against her and maybe him that may have not know how to deal with this grief, and he needs some counseling of how to sit down and how to piece things, come to peace that his sister is gone, and that no matter who you're accusing of, there is no evidence of what you're saying, and that you need to just a peaceful road back to recovery for him himself, because his sister could be that one person that's closest to him no matter who else, and that he needed some sort of coping mechanism. This is probably how he's coping with things, that there's no way she slipped.
Hmm.
You killed her because we were saying something. There's no way this could happen. And it's a tough situation, but I don't know if we can hold him. I don't know what she could do in that situation that could make this better. I don't know. The legal situation, definitely their marriage is over after that.
Yeah.
Him coming back from a psychotic break, they could recover. If they end up taking legal action against her, I don't see that relationship recover.
Okay.
Say he is going into some kind of psychosis or he is losing his mind.
Hmm.
Does that help kind of the situation?
I don't know. I honestly, because I'm putting myself in that perspective. If my wife accused me of killing somebody in her family,
They're just there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know even if it was like a mental health concern, if I could compartmentalize my thought process into believing that this is something that can be recovered from. You know, like I understand it's coming from a perspective of she's not in the right state of mind, but if this is what it's going to look like when big things happen in our life, I don't know if this is the type of person that I want to go through these events together with, you know? Because this is something big. Like you accuse me of possibly the worst act that a human being can commit, you know? And I just don't feel comfortable being with somebody who accused me of such, you know? Like, yes, we can work the facade of a perfect relationship, you know, probably work it out, act like we're happy and all that. But in the back of my mind, I know this person doesn't see me the way that they once did. And I don't really see them that way anymore either.
But say the person like understands or comes to the realization that they are having a psychotic breakdown,
Hmm.
they seek help for it, they become medicated. Do you think there's any
I'll
chance?
try.
Do you think there's any
Yeah, yeah.
chance of survival of that relationship?
Like like if they come clean with me and they're like, yo, I was going through something, biggest thing that ever happened to me. And I apologize from the bottom of my heart for putting you in that in that position.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at it more so like if they help themselves, right? Or if
Hmm.
they're obviously they definitely need distance from each other, right? After
Yeah.
this, right? But say the person goes to a institution, gets prescribed medication, time has gone
Hmm.
on, and they're more like in their more mental right sense.
Yeah.
Do you think that the person who got accused can let that go?
I don't know, bro. I don't think you really
Would
can.
you?
I don't. To be honest,
Like
knowing. Yeah.
say your girl accused you of killing her sister,
Yeah.
and then in the next few months she went to a mental hospital, got diagnosed with some
Yeah.
whatever, and then now is on medication and is more in her right mind sense.
Hmm.
How do you feel you would approach that conversation? Still with anger?
I think the right thing to say is I would accept them for who they are and come to terms with that wasn't their that it was out of their control because there was something that happened. You know, that's the right thing to say. But in actuality, I don't know if I can really let that go. You know, I don't know if I can come to terms with the person who I thought I would spend the rest of my life with thinking I'm the worst human on the planet. That would eat at me. Like, I don't want to be in something like a facade of a relationship, knowing that in the back of my mind, even though we're going to these dinners and going to these parties and, you know, looking great, in the back of my mind, this person sees me as this. Personally, for me, I don't know if there's any recovery, you know? I see the act of trying to make things work, but in reality, I don't know if it actually can, you know? That's my
Fair
thing.
point. What about you? What do you think? If they were to seek some medical assistance, would that help the scenario for you a bit?
I don't see a love that can once they're that big of a crack in the foundation. I don't see a love recovering. It's difficult because at the end of the day, there's a death that was put in front of them, and his first course of action was to, even if it's a mental issue, his first course of action was blame her. Out of everyone they could have blamed, out of everyone she could have fought with, he blamed his wife. That's if that's the first person that your mental break causes you to blame, there's much worse there that you were thinking of before.
That's where I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. People
Go
can be
ahead.
sick, fam. People
Yeah,
can have mental
I
breakdowns.
They
agree.
They're not.
could,
It's not. It's still a conscious thing, is what I'm trying to say. If
they
that is
could.
proven, do you still give them the same?
Why is his wife the first person he's looking to blame?
He's not in his right mind.
I don't think you can control what
You
your
can't
mind
control
goes
that.
through during a mental
Regardless,
break.
Somebody has
Regardless,
schizophrenia. They're telling you, "I hear voices." Are you gonna tell them, "I don't hear it"? That's what I'm trying to say. Is like if it's been proven that this is because of a mental illness, does that help the scenario for you, or do you still see
it
them as
helps this situation, but I don't see a future in it long term.
that's fair? But give me your reasoning as to, or give me what you would do in this scenario where you found out that this was from a mental illness. What would you do?
I would communicate with them. I'm happy you're feeling better. I'm happy you're doing better.
But you can't be with them.
There's a long, we'll see in the future, God willing. But as of right now, I don't see us being a good match for each other. but we'll see where life takes us. Because
So there is still a chance for you.
said God's, because I don't know who I am in the future. That God's will. But as of right now, I don't see us being a match for each other. Well, let's see when you're recovered and we're both doing better.
This is that point. That's what I'm trying to say.
Where are we? Where he went to
I was
therapy
painting this.
and
Yeah, I was painting the same scenario to him where this person got themselves checked in to a mental institution, helped work out their issues, and now is medicated and is in their right sense of mind.
I don't think
What is that conversation like for you?
just because they're booked in and they're taking medication and things like that, or a couple years down from them being fully recovered and fully in the state of I'm at my best self with the medication, with everything else. There's still a couple a year or two rolled down from
And then when that
them
day
knowing.
comes, what do
Then
you
we'll
say?
see where we are at that point.
What would you say?
I'm happy you're doing better, but I don't know right now. We're still in the mindset of this. I can't put myself in the mindset of you're doing better, and now we'll see what type of person who you are at that point, because that could be a different person than the person I knew before the death. That's not the same person.
So is it a
A
yes
year or a couple months is two different people.
so is it a yes or a no?
He doesn't know.
I said no. I said as of right now, no. We'll see. Even if you're recovered, it's a no. We'll see where we are in a couple years if we run into each other again.
Okay.
Mukhtar thinks it's a rom-com, fam. They're
I
gonna
know,
run
he's
into each other like
he's dodging the answer so bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to ask you.
I get what
would
he's
you do
trying to
once
say.
the
I
time
said
comes.
no.
So no.
It's done. But
No moving
I've
forward.
seen people that have left each other and years later come back to each other.
So
And-
there is still a possibility.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't know what's in the
I'm
future.
asking you.
Right now, I would
He
say
meant
no.
there is a possibility, though, right?
So
Yes or no?
There's always a possibility
Yes,
for everything.
there it is.
That's all I needed.
There's always a possibility.
That's
for
all I
everything.
needed.
Nelly and Ashanti,
Are they back together?
they are having a kid and they're engaged.
Shout out to them.
Exactly. So years apart, they found their way back to each other.
Mhm.
Everyone could find, if you feel while you're gone, while you're separated, while you're in other relationships,
Yeah.
that could have been the best person for me. Let me see how they're doing, and then that leads to
That's
you guys
very
back
general.
together.
It's very general. I'm asking you
That
about
could be very.
this. Am I
Life is general.
Okay, never mind. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Life is general.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Life is not specific.
You want to tell the audience?
Life is
Life-
general.
Tell them.
I like that. I like that.
No,
That's the biggest takeaway of
Give the
today.
advice to the audience.
Come on. You have your solo.
figure who you are. Don't let nobody hinder you. This guy's trying to hinder me right now. Don't let
Trying to get
nobody
some
hinder you.
answers. That's all I'm trying to do. This guy's trying to
You're-
Dr. Phil me right now. Like,
Life is gray. It's not black and white.
I never said it was.
You're trying to make it.
I'm not trying to make it.
You're trying to
I'm
make
just
it.
trying to ask for your opinion on the scenario that was been presented.
If I'm putting her shoes on and I'm saying, oh, this girl had mental break, accused me of murder and everything like that, and my love died for her, because that's what she said.
Yeah.
I don't see a future together.
Okay.
There was no possibility.
There's no possibility.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Got you.
I think about it very differently. I would disagree. Because I like to have nahris for people, or at least some sympathy for people that are sick mentally,
Mhm.
because I can't physically see their pain. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I look at it in the same sense of, if somebody had, if I was with somebody that randomly had a stroke and then they couldn't use one side of their body anymore, or they became a paraplegic, I'd
Mhm.
still be with them. You know what I mean? Because I know that they're not 100% of what they could be.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the scenario here, it would take me a long, long, long time, a lot of therapy, a lot of talking to people for me to at least get out of the mindset of I was accused of murder,
Mhm.
and more in the mindset of this person wasn't in their right mind. Because I'm not going to lie, and my feelings are going to get in the way, my opinion is going to get in the way. At that very time, how I was feeling is still going to be relevant to me for a long time. So I don't think that I can't personally say that there would be a moment in my life where I can't not see that for how it was presented to me. So I wouldn't pursue that relationship anymore. I would still have love for the person, but I don't think that I could get over that statement, even if I knew they were sick. You know what I mean? So that's where I would be like, no, I can't. It would hurt too much. It'd be opening up wounds,
Yeah,
unhealed wounds.
I agree with that.
So in that sense, I don't think me and that person can be together. There's no possibility for us.
Tough situation because
It is a tough situation,
we're
right?
right now we're three not married people. So
Potentially. You
Okay,
never
talk
know. You
to
never know.
us.
You never.
What's going
I'm
on
just saying. I'm
here?
just saying.
Hey,
let that
I'm
girl know.
just
come
saying.
Let
on,
that girl
man.
know.
I'm just saying, brother. You know me.
All right.
I'm out and about, but I'm not. I'm not like on the
Okay.
streets. I'm not on the streets, but I'm
Not
here.
home. You're not home. You're right. It is an
Go
interesting
ahead.
situation, though. I don't think I've ever heard any situation this dramatic in my life.
Yeah,
Wild.
it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Cut your losses there, man. To be honest with you, I feel so much sympathy for the person writing the story. Wallah. It's the worst. As like, I always go back to like mental issues as burdens in life that people can't see
Hmm.
because feeling all these emotions at the same time must take a toll on you. So much going through this person's mind right now that I just feel so bad for them. And just cut your losses. That's
Yeah,
all I'd say. The
my
only advice I
opinion.
would say, cut
I
your
agree.
losses and yeah, do a lot of prayer.
Facts.
Find God.
Let us know in the comments. Let us know if you agree, and if always, please subscribe. We're bringing out good stuff every week.